and welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren, and today I am going to be looking at an I Did a Thing video. This one is I Made Your Stupid Video Ideas. The thumbnail was pizza skates, which seems horrifying. I think what it looked like was it's going to be like rollerblades, but with pizza cutters as wheels, which just seems dangerous and a very bad idea. So I guess that's why it's called I Made Your Stupid Video Ideas. Seems like someone's about to die. Like, that could be so dangerous. But anyway, let's begin.
When I first started this channel, I had exactly 39 video ideas in mind, but I've used them all up. I'm done. I am completely out of ideas, and my head just isn't working properly, and I have no idea why.
Banana
So
phone.
I've decided to rely on you, and I have to say, I'm a little bit impressed. Individually, your ideas may be crap, but if I squish them together, I get a beautiful, greasy, multi-layered turducken of a video that should reach 10 minutes long.
Yikes, okay.
Long enough to give me that juicy YouTube ad revenue. Also, some of you may be thinking, oh, I doubt you're just copying Michael Reeves where he tests out stupid viewer ideas.
Oh.
But look, this is the size of Michael Reeves, and this is the size of me. Fight me, Michael.
Okay, sure.
All right, let's see what you got. So the first
I feel like he's going to do it in a different way than Michael Reeves, so it's fine. Also, I didn't realize that Michael Reeves did that, and so I might have to check that out.
one comes from the Discord server. Make Crocs for Crocs. And I would
Crocs
like to,
for
but I think
Crocs.
the
I get it.
reptiles already have that sorted. And then this one from James Co Productions. Do a crayfish video about crayfish. Yes, sorry, James. I'm not sure what kind of channel you think this is. I'm not just making
not
a video
Lindsay
about
Nicole
crayfish.
over
There
here.
are 143 species of freshwater crayfish
Okay,
in
it is
Australia.
a Lindsay Nicole.
From the teeny tiny Central Highlands crayfish all the way to the giant Tasmanian crayfish, the
Dang.
largest freshwater crustacean
That is
in
big.
the world, which
A
can
big
live
boy.
to the ripe old age of 60. And you know, this actually happens to be my second favorite crustacean of all time, coming in right after the
He's
peacock
got the
mantis
Crocs
shrimp
on,
at
too.
number 1, and just before frozen crab stick at number 3. Frozen crab stick. I'm not sure what you're made of, but I don't know I really care. And Australia.
See, if it's not real crab, I can't do it. That is a failing on my part as a person from Baltimore. If it's not real crab, it is not going anywhere near me. I used to have people, I used to work at a place, they had these crab cake Benedicts, but the crab cake, they were frozen. They were like the color of chicken nuggets and like the shape of a chicken nugget sometimes. And I was like, that is not there's no crab. A crab has never had anything to do with this particular item of food. It has never looked at a crab. It has never been in the same room as a crab. It's never even seen a picture of a crab. It's probably never heard the word crab in any language. Therefore, I refuse to sell it to people. People would ask about it all the time, and I'd be like, in good conscience, I can't tell you to get that. I would always try to steer them away to other things. It was the most expensive thing on our menu, too, because it was a breakfast place, so it was just like, I was like, don't get it.
Creeks used to be filled with crayfish everywhere. You know, you could kind of just
Irrelevant.
walk along and stick down your hand and grab one. But then we started putting poo pipes in our creek, and they
Ugh.
all disappeared.
Bummer.
Now the only thing you grab when you reach down
Don't do it!
is crab stick. And that was a very enjoyable first idea. I'm going to give it
Okay. Fun.
9 out of 10.
Well, you know what? He got to go outside. He got to go hang out in this beautiful wooded area. I want to go into the nature.
I enjoyed that. So let's go to the next one. And that comes from Control Copy. And they say, make a human with a human. And isn't that just
that is
sex?
how it works.
You want me to make a sex tape? Like, look, I'm not going to do that because there's already plenty of other websites on the internet that have this area covered and are really
Yep,
good at it. So
that's
I'll
true.
point you in the direction of some of those. Description down below. And then this one from Italy Mark III. Make a bulletproof apron. And I like this
Ooh.
idea. And I was
I like that
excited. I
too.
started to think of all the materials I could make like an apron out of. But then I remembered I don't live in America, so I'm not going to make this one.
You don't need it.
And then this one comes from Sanasi, Everest Studios, and Gresta. And they want me to make spring shoes.
Spring shoes.
And I love this idea so
Fun.
much. I've wanted to make
like
spring
moon
shoes
shoes.
ever since I saw the movie Flubber as a child. Arguably one of the greatest sports movies of all time. So my plan is to get these springs here,
Wow,
which came out of
those
a
are
giant
huge.
ballpoint pen, and then strap them to my feet.
It came out of a giant ballpoint pen. I was like, dang, that looks like it looks from a truck or something. But no, giant ballpoint pen, apparently. Okay, fair enough.
And then I jump up and down and break the Guinness World Record for highest vertical jump by a man that is wearing spring shoes, while also having 350,000 Samoans subscribe to it. And I thought, actually, why not make this official? So I decided to fill out an application for a new Guinness World Record. Estimation of jump height, I reckon at least 2 meters. Description: I'll be attempting to set the record for highest vertical jump while wearing spring shoes and also having 350,000 inhabitants from the island of Samoa subscribe to them, which is a very impressive feat, as Samoa only has a population of 220,000
That is
people
pretty
and
impressive.
good cause awareness. So I submitted it, and the slimy people at Guinness took my £5 and never got back to me.
Damn.
I found out that a
losers.
similar record is already held by a German bloke who jumped a massive 2.76 meters on spring stilts. So I might have to go for an easier spring-related record, like most hot springs visited in 1 year. That sounds like a perfect record.
That sounds
for me.
like a great
Okay.
record.
So I don't think I'm just going to be able to strap these to my feet like I thought I was going to. The springs are going to come off sideways, and I'm worried I'm going to snap my ankles.
Yeah,
So
you
what
probably
I'm going
will.
to have to do is increase my XP level so I can acquire a tool which I haven't unlocked yet.
Oh,
The Medusa
okay.
of the tool world.
It'll turn you into
welder.
Stone. Ooh, a welder.
And I have wanted one of these my whole life.
It's like I had to get a welder in order to do this. Why is it called the Medusa? Why is he calling it that? Because she turns people into stone. I guess if they were touching a rock wall at the time she turned them into stone, they would kind of be welded to it.
And now I finally have a sensible excuse to own one. So I bought this
Yep.
bad boy
what it
secondhand from a
is.
stranger on the internet, because
how you
only
do it.
schmucks buy new things. And let's do this. So I thought welding was going to be easy and fun, a bit like
Why?
hot gluing. It isn't though. It's
No.
terrifying. You
Yeah.
can't see anything, and you get molten metal down your shirt, and then I managed to melt straight through the metal and destroying it, and then I set my table on fire.
Oh no!
Also, if you aren't fast enough with striking the stick on the metal, it gets stuck to the metal and then it heats up and explodes. And I guess this is happening because my welder is a little too strong in the ampage department, but I can't do anything about it.
Oh my god.
See, the best thing about buying secondhand old things from strangers is they don't work properly.
Yep, and it's an adventure every single time you use it. I feel like, you know what? You need a little bit more excitement in your life. If you need a little bit more excitement in your life, that's when you go to Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And then, trust me, excitement is right behind you. Probably sneaking up behind you right now. Turn around! Was there excitement? You're welcome.
And the power knob on this welder doesn't stop turning and apparently goes
I
up to
think I'm
infinity.
funny.
So I'm going to attempt to fix this by drawing an arrow right here and just hoping I can trick the welder. Here we go. What setting should I choose? Number 1, number 2, let's go with number 8 for Turbo Weld 8. Also, thanks to my Patreons for this welder. Technically, each one of you owns 1/100th of this machine.
Fun.
So I did eventually manage to get good enough to create this monstrosity. So it's time to attempt welding my real spring and sheet of metal.
And I'll thank our Patreons too. I don't think that's how you're supposed to say that. Our patrons. I'll thank our Patreons. Much obliged to you. We do have a Patreon as well as memberships available. If you are so inclined to help us out in any kind of way, this man has beautiful lips. If you're inclined, you can help us out monetarily. And if you can't, leave a like. Message us on the comment section. You can tell me how hysterical I am, for instance. Or you can tell me that I am not very funny and women shouldn't do comedy. You could also tell me that. And I'll tell you, I wasn't trying to do comedy. I misspoke and turned it into a bad bit. And then there is engagement. And I would appreciate that. So that's that story.
And luckily, I realized just before welding that the sheet of metal is galvanized steel.
Oh!
So to avoid inhaling toxic fumes, I came up with a smart idea of replicating underwater welding on land by using a snorkel tube so I can get fresh air from a non-toxic room in the house.
The bathroom. Very non-toxic. Oh,
And
God.
look at that. It's ugly, but the spring is definitely welded on. And I love it that my best weld looks worse
Oh, my
than
God.
the worst weld examples I could find on Google.
I know that he didn't actually, but the fact that he made it look like he did. Oh, my God.
So now to attach my old trusty Adidas. And let's go try them out.
Or Adidas.
Now, I'm pretty sure if I go
Adidas.
straight for it, I'm just going to snap my ankles.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
So I'm going to set up this rope in the tree. And don't worry, neighbors, it's not what you think. So I'm going to be wearing this harness
Dark.
so I can stay attached to the rope, and then a little person will support my weight. Also, I'm keeping my apron
little
on so you
person?
can't see my pee-pee in this harness. And let's try it.
Or that little person.
Tight, tight, tight. Okay, keep me.
Oh, he got mats though. The mats are good.
Okay. Oh, this
Oh
is
my
so-
God,
Oh.
terrifying.
Okay, keep me tight. Pull tighter. Oh my. You're like a little baby trying to walk.
I mean, the springs are. Ow. The springs are like not very springy, huh? Oh God, I've tried pogo sticking and it feels like this. Okay. Ow.
Yeah, and I could feel that the shoes were bouncing me a little, but I had to stop because the springs are so heavy. I didn't have any control in the way my feet came down and impacted the ground. And I was worried I was just going to snap my ankles.
Yes, you should be worried
So
about that.
spring shoes look kind of cool, but are crap. And I'm giving them 6 out of 10. All right.
That's
so time for
generous.
my last request, which also happens to be foot related and comes from somebody called William Eggsman. And I don't know who they are, but they want me to
William
make
Eggsman.
roller skates
All
with
right.
pizza cutter wheels.
Oh
And
my
I
God, no,
respect a
no, no,
man
no,
that
no,
likes
it's very
eggs.
terrifying.
So I'm going to attempt to make them. Now, lucky
this
for
is
me,
the one I saw in the
remembered I had
thumbnail.
a pair of roller skates somewhere in my attic from when I was a kid, as my mum convinced me that rollerblading was actually just as cool as skateboarding.
I had rollerblades also. They did live in our shed, I believe. I was very bad at rollerblading, and we lived on such a steep hill too. So like it just you could go for a little bit and get way too fast, way too quickly, and then you'd have to like bail out into somebody's yard, and then you had to go all the way up the hill again, and it sucked. So none of us rollerbladed very much, except for if we went to Skateland, because that was fun.
Rollerblades, please. It wasn't. So my original idea was to buy some real pizza cutters from the store, but I would have had to buy all of them. And then I would have felt bad
Yeah,
for anyone else that turned
million
up
pizza
after me
cutters.
and was unable to cut a pizza. So instead I unevenly cut some wheel blades out of this poisonous sheet metal
God.
and just swapped it with the wheels. And I created this. Andiamo a mangiare un po' di pizza.
Oh my God.
I was imagining smooth motion. Okay.
Why were you imagining smooth
gonna
motion?
happen.
I'm honestly shocked that see, it's how it's bending. I thought that might happen, but I was like, I'm honestly shocked that it's not just either collapsing or just or having him fall down like immediately. Those are such skinny wheels. I'm just like having nightmare visions of like slipping and falling and like slicing your whole self open with it. Because I mean, I've fallen on rollerblades before, and you can sometimes hit your own legs with them. Or, I mean, probably an arm. I don't know. I am imagining such horrible situations. I mean,
the
it
wheels are
works.
extremely wobbly, but it works really well.
That did work.
And again. And
Okay.
look at that. Cut it in 8. It's
I mean,
beautiful.
it does
Even
work.
with my
Well
damaged
done.
ankles, I've still managed to cut the pizza better than every employee at Domino's.
Buongiorno.
Hi, Thomas. First question, please.
Hi there. I'm ringing up because I think Domino's is a really great pizza franchise and I really enjoy eating your pizza. But sometimes when I eat it, the pizza isn't cut properly. So I make inventions, and recently I created a pair of rollerblades that have pizza cutters for wheels, and they work really, really well.
I can't
So
believe he ended this on a prank call.
I was wondering if this was something you guys might be interested in using in your store.
I don't think we can change the color because all the materials from our head office we can't like get
That,
anything
I mean,
outside the head.
I will say this particular employee of this particular Domino's, masterful customer service. I mean, wow, he has the party line down pat beautifully. I mean, like, what do you say to that? Uh, I would be like, no, I would just say, no, and hang up. I really would have hung up already.
at office.
Okay. What do you think of the idea though? If you could personally use them,
Probably if I own a pizza store,
if you owned a pizza store, you would use them.
yeah, probably use it.
I don't think he knows.
It's really not good for our store at the moment, but we can't change it at all.
Oh no, so we're getting some tea. He's like, I don't even like the pizza cutters and stuff that we have. The products we have kind of suck. I would that's awesome.
Okay. Okay, well that's good to hear that you would use them.
That's fine.
Okay, have a good... So now for the rating. The pizza shoes cut well, but the pizza was burnt and tasted like the ground. So I'm going to give the shoes 3 out of 10.
That's fair.
Meaning the crayfish idea is the winner. Congratulations, James Co. Productions. You're a genius. I think I'm going to do a lot more cross-station related videos in the future.
Fun.
And to everyone else that submitted ideas,
Dang.
some of them were actually so good that I'm going to be stealing them and turning them into full videos in the future.
Cool. Have fun with
Sunny
that.
leeches in my Crocs.
Oh no!
So much for watching. Make
No
sure
leeches.
to subscribe and check out some of my other stuff if you...
Okay. Grand. Leeches are horrifying and I hate them. Anyway, that was fun. I went off on a few tangents, but not as many as I sometimes do. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more stuff from this channel, let me know by liking the video and by telling me what specific videos to look at. It was fun. I'm going to hit subscribe, and you should do that to me also. And I will see you in the next one.